At my daughter's 7th birthday, my sister-in-law dragged her finger through the cake and then crashed it onto me. My daughter made a wish. I want Aunt Olivia to tell us why she hates my mom. The whole room went silent. The candles on the cake shook like they were embarrassed too. Striped canopy on the patio, rented bounce house with a safety net, folding tables, string lights, a cooler of ice and soda, confetti print plates. Neighborhood kids crowding the ladder to the bounce house, parents chatting by the berry bowls. I stood next to the cake. 3 tiers, strawberries and cream, picked up this morning from Costco, and told myself this time would be smooth. Straight line. No surprises. Maya, our 7-year-old, climbed onto the white step stool. Lilac sundress, glitter sandals, bangs all frizzed from bouncing. She squeezed her eyes shut, pure theater, and then, before I could say, on 3, she opened them and asked, loud enough to cut through squeals and net squeaks, "Aunt Olivia, why don't you like my mom?" Silence got physical. Someone laughed the wrong way. Someone coughed. Sean froze with the lighter over the candles. My heart pinched. Not fear, not shame, that quick, hot impulse that shows up right before you say no. Not now. Olivia, Sean's older sister, rolled one narrow shoulder like she was dusting it off. Her smile was soft in shape and hard in purpose. "What a silly thing to say, Maya." "Who told you that?" "No one," Maya said, stubborn and calm. "I can just see it." Her little sunbeam of a question sliced straight through our carefully staged perfect backyard party. I lifted a hand. "Okay, let's count to 3 and make a wish." "Hang on, Aaron," Olivia said, just loud enough for the crowd. "The child asked." "You shouldn't ignore it." Anger bubbled, boiling water under a lid. I held it down and looked at Sean. He studied the pavers like answers hide in the grout. "Olivia," he said, quiet. "This is a kid's party." "So?" She smiled. "Because it's a party, truth has to be pink and fluffy?" "Maya, I don't hate your mom. It's just that adults make mistakes and talk smack sometimes, especially the ones who love to look like saints." "We agreed not to do this," I said evenly, feeling my voice sharpen to a cool blade. "And definitely not here." "Oh? Where then?" Olivia turned so everyone could hear. "In the kitchen?" Whispering behind backs. "Your favorite?" The parents lost their smiles. The kids slowed their jumping. A few grown-ups discovered urgent needs for napkins, phones, air. Sean stepped forward. "Olivia, please." "You're always asking," she said softly, sweet as a slap. "Don't say it. Don't stir it. Don't bother it. Trouble's like an uninvited guest. Shove it out the door and it climbs in the window." "Mom," Maya tugged my hand, "do you really make up stories about Aunt Olivia?" There it was. Not, what will people think? Not, how will my husband look at me? Just the clean, serious stare of a child with a crumb of chocolate at the corner of her mouth. I stood tall. "I don't lie," I said. "And I don't trash people. But I won't pretend things are fine when they're not." "Fine. Not fine," Olivia snorted. "Great genre for house court drama." "Enough," Sean snapped. Thunder in a clear sky. The candles still burned, little stubborn tongues of light, like witnesses. Doubt flared in me, and then a cool beam cut through it. I didn't start this. I can finish it. "Maya," I said, steady now. "Adults sometimes hurt each other not because they want to, but because they're afraid and don't know how to speak plainly. After the party, Dad and I will tell you everything. No secrets." "After the party," Olivia echoed, sugary. You two love postponing. Fine. Meanwhile, let's see who's the saint and who's the monster. You'll drop it now, I said. I could hear my own mettle. If you can't respect boundaries, leave. For a second, I thought she might turn around. She stepped closer instead, too close, and whispered, just loud enough for the crowd. And if I don't? Then I'll ask again, Sean said, moving between us. And the third time I won't be asking. Mom, Maya said, almost inaudible. Can I blow them out? Yes, I smiled at her. Let this part be clean. 1, I said. 2, Sean said. 3, Olivia said clearly, and didn't blow. Maya sent a long, happy breath. The flames shivered, died, and left thin threads of smoke. For 1 second, the whole world was simple again. Silence tasted like freedom. Then Olivia leaned in slowly and drew a line through the white frosting with her finger. Sweet? She asked, eyes on mine. Around us, synchronized busyness. Napkins flip, phones check. Sky watching intensifies. I felt the fog of awkward drop on our backyard. Aunt Olivia, Maya said, still quiet. You didn't answer. Why don't you like my mom? Olivia turned. The smile softened, but didn't get kinder. Your mom loves telling stories about other people. Sean slid a hand to the small of my back and used the other to ease Olivia a step away. That's enough. We're done? Sure, Olivia said lightly, and half-stepped like she might kiss Maya's hair. Her shoulder barely brushed my elbow, an accident that felt like a plan. The cake stand creaked. I grabbed for the cake. 3 tiers of Costco cream and strawberries. It tilted toward me. Everything went slow motion. My dress snagged on the disposable tablecloth. The cake met me like an airbag. Soft, shameless, a wet smack. White filled my world for a breath. Gasps. A nervous snort. And then Olivia's laugh, clean and brittle like ice cracking under a boot. Aaron, you're covered in frosting. Great party. My heart slammed like a trapped animal. Sugar stuck to my neck, slid into my hair. Sean lunged with napkins. Olivia beat him to it, held one out like a little funeral handkerchief. Don't touch me, I said, not looking at her. Step back. She did, half a step, hands up, innocent pose. Not my fault. Mom. Maya stood on the stool, eyes shining. Does it hurt? No, I told her, and somehow smiled. It tickles. The kids giggled. Adults started filing polite exits. We'll text you. Thanks for having us. Hang in there. The air went hollow, like after a storm. Let's get you cleaned up, Sean said. I'll cut what's left. There is no left, Olivia said dryly. But there are plenty of napkins. Enough, Sean snapped, really snapped, for the first time. What? I did nothing. She pulled it, Olivia said, bright and public. You bumped her, one of the parents said. We saw. Olivia turned her head, slow as a cat that hears a mouse, and smiled. Did you? Then let's watch the video. We've all got phones. Enough, Sean repeated, but there wasn't more certainty in it. His eyes swung Olivia, me, Maya, back to me. A pendulum stuck between before and after. I straightened. My head rang. My eyes were clear. I took Maya's hand, helped her off the stool, and turned to the guests. Friends, thanks for coming. Sorry about the experiment. I nodded at the white ruins. We'll open gifts and stories. For now, we're going to wrap up. No one argued. Chairs scraped. Folding legs clacked. Someone pulled stakes from the bounce house net. The air kept a guest of its own, unease, throwing long, weird shadows. We three, me, Sean, and Maya, walked into the kitchen. I turned on the faucet. Frosting washed down the drain like the last bits of perfect evening. Maya sat on a stool, squeezing my hairbrush like a lucky coin. "Dad?" she asked softly. "Is Aunt Olivia mad at Mom because of me?" Sean's shoulders dropped. "No, honey. That's adult." I shut off the water and blotted my face with a paper towel. From outside, jokes about the flying cake, polite thanks for the great party until X. Inside, lemon cleaner and strawberries. And a thought. If we say after again, we will teach our daughter something she doesn't deserve to learn. "We talk now," I said. "Aaron, maybe later?" Sean raised his hands, a shield. "Let's cool off and—" He didn't finish. Olivia had reappeared in the doorway, like a baker checking the oven. She sniffed the air, strawberries, lemon. "Well, Queen, all clean?" she sang. "Want me to serve your bakery cake to the guests?" "Since it's so yours, leave," I said. "With pleasure," she purred. "But hey, Sean, quick thing." "That agency report? You still owe me help. I'll swing by Monday." Sean flinched, barely. "Of course," popped out. He hit my eyes and stumbled. "I mean, we'll talk later." "Talk fast," Olivia said. She let her gaze settle on me. Lower. Colder. "This time your cute little after the party might not arrive." Door slam. Perfume trail. Sticky echo of a laugh. We were three again. Maya looked older. Not crying. Just done. "Mom," she said, "let's do the party another day. With ice cream. And not—" "You know, we will," I said. "With the important people." Sean stared out the window like he could guard the yard from shadows. I walked to him. "The choice is now," I said. "No. Later." He rubbed his face. "You're overreacting." She went too far, yes. But the cake, it was an accident. Everyone's on edge. "Don't slash and burn over this. Your sister does the slashing," I said. "On the living." And not just today. He said nothing. The pendulum in me stopped. I dropped each word into the water of decision, let them sink and stay. Either Olivia doesn't cross our door again, or I find another door for Maya and me. He looked up. In his eyes, the thing I dreaded, confusion and the same old reflex to hide behind later. "You won't do that," he said, automatic as a times table. "I will," I said, and heard the clean steel in my own voice. "If I have to, I will." Hinges squeaked at the side gate. A tall shape filled the kitchen doorway. "Excuse me. May I?" a man's voice said, unsteady. "I'm looking for Olivia." "I'm Anthony, her husband. I got a call. Something happened here." He scanned the kitchen. Me, still damp, hair escaping. Maya. My brush clutched like a talisman. Sean, frozen at the sink. "She left," I said calmly. "Made a scene." Slammed the door. "On brand," he said, a crooked smile that wasn't one. "What was the scene about?" "Truth," I said. He frowned, cut eyes at Sean for a cue. Sean was quiet. "What truth, Aaron?" I hadn't planned to be the one to say it, but her lying had already stepped into our yard and touched our kid. "The truth she's been hiding from you," I said. "About the man she's been seeing." I didn't want to say it. But today, when she called me a liar in front of everyone, Enough. He went still, as if nailed to the floor. With who? He got out. I don't know his name, I said. I've seen them a couple of times, at a cafe by her car, and once when she told you she was going to a friend in the Pearl District. His face blanched. A friend? In Pearl? He asked. I nodded. He leaned on the back of a chair, like he'd just taken a hit. God, he breathed. She's always been the best at making other people guilty. Sean paced the kitchen like a caged cat. Aaron, why? It's their marriage. Don't get involved. It's our family, I said, voice cool. Her lie reached Maya. Today our daughter asked why her aunt hates her mom. That's why Anthony sat, covered his face, then spoke very quietly. So it's true, he said. I thought you two just weren't getting along. He looked at Sean. You knew? I suspected, Sean said. I wasn't sure. Now you are, Anthony said, tired. Thank you, Aaron. At least someone had the guts not to pretend he stood, eyes on the door where his wife had been. I'm going. I need to end this. Wait, I said. She'll spit poison in that state. Let her, he cut in. Bitter truth beats a staged life. He turned to me. You did what I couldn't do today. Stopped her. The door clicked shut behind him. We stood in a quiet that hummed. Mom, Maya whispered, coming closer. Auntie won't be with us anymore? No, I said. And thank God. Sean stared at the driveway where Anthony's headlights flashed and then disappeared. Aaron, he said, almost a whisper. You know this is the end for them, right? For people who build on lies, the end shows up sooner or later, I said. This was later. Maya's arms went round my waist. I held her as if holding a border in place. It's okay, I told her. We won't let anyone make us small again. Night settled without thunder, without speeches, just the tired rustle of the maple by the window. Maya fell asleep fast. Sean and I sat across from each other at the kitchen table. Between us, a small pot of lemony tea gone warm. On the surface, smears of cream like the last footprints of a perfect party that didn't make it. Sean spun the spoon like he could stir his thoughts into shape. Aaron, he said at last, I don't know what to do now. What do you mean? Anthony drove home. Olivia's furious. She can do anything. She won't forgive. Not you. Not me. You expect me to go ask forgiveness for telling the truth? I asked. Not harsh. Just plain. No, it's all a lot. I didn't think it would end like that. In front of everyone I looked at him. Steady. How did you think it would end, Sean? That I'd stay quiet again while your sister hisses at me in front of our child, while you say nothing, and Maya learns to call insult normal? He flinched like I'd slapped him, then leaned back in the chair. I only wanted things calm, he said. No scenes. Calm isn't when you shut up, I said. It's when you can sleep without fear the lies will start up again in the morning. He rubbed his eyes. You're strong, Aaron. I'm tired of being the go-between. Stop being it, I said, softer. You have a choice. With me, or forever in her shadow. He studied me, like he was seeing, not assuming, for the first time. She wasn't always like this, he said, voice low. When Dad died, I promised I'd be there. Not abandon her. She grew up, Sean, I said. You stayed her rescuer. She's the one drowning now, and pulling everyone with her." He looked away. Something flickered in his eyes. The words came slow, like steps over wet grass. "I'm tired of her poison. Tired of the endless jabs. Tired of being told I owe her. If I'm honest, I was always scared you'd give up and leave. Now I'm scared you'll stay, but stop respecting me." There was no triumph in me, no anger, just the sea after a storm. "It's up to you," I said. "I've already chosen." He stood, came around the table, and wrapped his arms around me from behind, careful, like I might vanish. "I'm with you," he said quietly. "No more later." I didn't answer. I just noticed I could breathe, really breathe, for the first time all night. Morning. "Mom, are we going to celebrate again?" Maya asked. "Yes," I said, "but without the people who show up for other people's pain." My phone filled with messages. "We've got your back." "Need help with cleanup?" "Cake run?" A neighbor texted 2 stills that showed Olivia's shoulder grazing my elbow. "In case it matters." I didn't save them. I'd seen enough. Maya had seen enough. Anthony had seen enough. We planned a reset for that evening. No bounce house, no long list, just ice cream, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, toppings, sprinkles, marshmallows, syrup. 1 candle on a homemade muffin, 3 of Maya's real friends, quiet music. I sent a simple note to the group. "Tonight at 6, just ice cream and laughter. Join us if you want to really celebrate Maya." Sean swapped the tablecloth, scrubbed off the last cream streaks, tucked crumpled garlands into the garage. At one point, he stopped in the doorway, didn't turn, and said, "I texted Olivia." I spelled out the boundaries. Clearly, "Thank you," I said. "And I texted Anthony. If he needs a witness, I'll be there." I looked at him and saw not only the tired man from last night, but a steady one. Not a pose. Not a later. A choice. At 6, the 3 kids came with their parents. We laughed without bracing. Maya blew out 1 tiny candle. When I asked what she wished for, she said, "That no one will laugh when it hurts." I hugged her the way you hug when you've been holding a line for too long. Days passed. The house got quiet. Not dead quiet. Clear quiet. Olivia didn't text. Rumors drifted by like leaves. Anthony packed a bag. The friend that had been there all along vanished. Those were their news, not ours. Ours were simple. Maya walked to school without looking over her shoulder. Sean learned life without the costume of peacemaker. I noticed my phone could buzz without my stomach dropping. We sat on the patio at dusk. Grass smell. The faintest sweetness from some memory, not frosting on a floor anymore. Sean nudged a throw blanket toward me. "You know," he said, "I thought calm meant pleasing everyone. Turns out it's knowing your lines and keeping them," I said. "Even when someone really hates that." "Especially then," he laughed. We were quiet a while. Then I said, "Thanks for saying I'm with you." Without later. "Thanks for not staying quiet," he said. Inside, on the table, we'd started a new list. Guests for the next party. Fewer names, all ours. Somewhere far off, another house was coming down. The kind that calls shame a joke and pain content. A family wasn't collapsing. A show was. The air felt cleaner. And maybe this simple evening, 1 candle on a muffin, soft laughter from the people who matter, was the real gift. Not the bakery tower. not the story-perfect photos. For us. Because the best gift is the right to truth, your own boundaries, and the kind of quiet that heals instead of hurting. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. See you in the next video.